excited that we get to read together. I am coming to you from my library, which is one of my favorite rooms in my house. This is where I keep tons and tons of books. You guys know how I feel about books, so I'm very excited that we get to read one of our favorite characters, Penelope Rex. This is her latest book. Ryan Higgins is the author, and we have been with Penelope through a lot of adventures. So today we are going to read Penelope Rex and the Problem with Pets. And you can immediately see that Penelope is having a very hard time with her new pets. So let's think about all of those character traits that we know so well about Penelope, see if we learn anything new about her. And then I want you to pay attention to the problem in the story, and we can also pay attention to seeing how the problem gets solved. There's Dad. Lots of parents give their dogs or cats lots of parents give their kids, I'm so excited, dogs or cats or guinea pigs or goldfish. Penelope's parents gave her mittens. So now we know this creature is Penelope's new pet, Mittens. Penelope was surprised. I'm trying to see how I can get this whole picture in my picture. Okay, that works. Penelope was surprised. She didn't even know she wanted a pet. Penelope had talked a lot about ponies, but that was because they are delicious. We know that ponies are one of Penelope's favorite treats. She wasn't so sure about owning Mittens, but she was willing to give it a try. Oh, look, he already likes you. Why don't you take Mittens up to your room and get ready for bed? Dad says. In Penelope's room, if I pull this back, I'm having a hard time getting this side of the book in. Mittens made himself comfortable. Mittens, you can sleep down here on the floor. Looks like Mittens is taking over her bed. It was a crowded night in the room, up the stairs and down the hall. The next morning, Mittens woke Penelope with a surprise from the garden. You can see how she's feeling. Then he wouldn't eat his breakfast. Thank goodness our little friend that he brought is free. You can see running around outside of the window. But he would eat everything else, like the trash and Penelope's toys and Penelope's supper. And no one was quite sure what had happened to the nice lady from down the street. You never really liked baked beans anyway, she's saying to Penelope. Has anyone seen Mrs. Phillips today? I was supposed to take her to the airport. What do you think happened to Mrs. Phillips, friends? After all that, Mittens got an upset tummy. Luckily, he knew how to use the litter box. But he preferred the bathtub. So again, you can see Penelope's response. She is totally horrified. Does not seem like she's having much fun with this pet. The truth was, Mittens made everything harder. Sleeping, getting dressed. Mom, Mittens buried all my underwear in the backyard again. Getting ready for school. Mittens, let go. I want to go to school. You have to stay here. Back at school, we recognize this classroom, don't we? Attention students, recess will be inside today due to a saber-toothed cat on the playground. That's Mittens. He came to school. I bet he missed Penelope. And even coming home from school, I'm oof. Oh, Mittens loves her. In fact, coming home from anywhere was harder. After days of mess and mayhem, Penelope was at the end of her rope. Mittens, no! Mittens, no! No, Mittens! Rip. Bad, Mittens. Bad. I'm sorry, Penny Pie. Maybe Mittens is too much for one little T-Rex to handle on her own. And so, carrying a patched backpack and lots of feelings, Penelope left for school. But that whole day, everything made her think of Mittens. Was he too much for her? Penelope's back in her classroom, and I love seeing Walter the goldfish kind of staring at her. When Penelope got home that afternoon, she braced herself. I'm home! You can see her flinching, knowing that Mittens is going to attack her. Mittens? But Mittens wasn't there. Do you guys feel that the story is changing? There's a big change happening now. He was in the backyard. I thought Mittens could use some fresh air. Oh, okay. That evening, Mittens was not at supper. You can see Mittens, here behind the fence in the kitchen. That night, Mittens was not in Penelope's bed. Penelope couldn't sleep. So I don't know what you're thinking, readers, but what I'm thinking is that Penelope's changing. She's really starting to realize that she loves Mittens, even though he is a bit of a handful. Her bed was so big. So Penelope crept downstairs. Hi, Mittens. I'm sorry I yelled. Would you like to? Woof! He leaps out of the cage and they're reunited. It was a cozy night in the Rex family house, especially in the room up the stairs and down the hall. Where it was crowded, Mittens was a lot of work, but he was worth it. And so with plenty of exercise, loads of training, Mittens sits. Good boy. Hi, George. And lots of family outings. Hi there, Mrs. Phillips. Oh, it looks like Mrs. Phillips is safe. She didn't get eaten by Mittens after all. The Rex family learned how to be great pet owners. And in return, Mittens learned how to be not quite as much trouble. He would never be an easy pet, but Penelope did not love an easy pet. She loved Mittens. I'm glad you're you, Mittens, and not a pony. Ponies. So there we have it, my friends. Penelope Rex and the problem with pets. We can see Penelope Rex continuing to learn, continuing to grow, continuing to become exactly who it is that she's meant to be. So I'll be excited to hear about how you enjoyed this book. I want you to think about this book, and I would love for you to compare it to the other Penelope Rex books we've read so far. Penelope, We Don't Need Our Classmates. George, do you remember that? We Don't Lose Our Class Pets, yeah. And We Will Rock Our Classmates. So this is now the 4th Penelope Rex books. I love it. I love Ryan Higgins, and I love reading with you all. I will see you soon. Love you guys.
It's actually Ryan T. Higgins.
Ryan T. Higgins. Did I say the wrong author?
You said Ryan Higgins.
I'm sorry, Ryan Higgins. Ryan T. Higgins. Do you want to say goodbye, George?
Bye-bye.